What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 10 of the Panel Pals podcast. Hey!
Excelsior.
We are
Exactly.
we are obviously not at the studio today. We're in the middle of a move. And since it's Monday, this is the first time you're seeing us for about a week. Hey, last week what had happened was John fucked up all three podcasts. So
Nope. Nope.
That's what happened. That's the story.
Put it in his butt.
No,
I put the whole podcast in my ass.
Yeah, all our stuff got corrupted last week. That's what ended up happening. But we back now. And yeah, so today we have a great show for you guys. We're gonna review the Eternals movie. If you have not seen it, you can skip over to the timestamps down below because we will do a spoiler discussion there. We're gonna talk about the Morbius trailer that came out. And there was another topic, but I closed the topic list out. Hold on.
There are rumors going on in the MCU that our fellow Jim Carrey might be M.O.D.O.K in the MCU.
Ooh.
Who's our fellow?
Our fellow Jim Carrey.
You know him like that?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's the mask, bro.
That's pretty cool.
That is the mask.
That is the mask.
You are right.
That's Stanley Ipkiss
But like,
in the
talk
flesh.
to me about how Son of the Mask is better.
Dude, I will
I'm
drive to
kicking
your house.
Hector out of the
I will
podcast.
drive to your house.
Hey, before
Hector.
we get into any of those topics, I want to address the audience real quick. Hey, if you're new, which you are, because I see the analytics, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. Like all the shit. Whatever the option is to like everything, do that. Like the podcast and
Don't
share it
have
on
Christmas.
social medias. And also comment down below. Do all of that. And you'll get presents this Christmas. If you don't, a lump of coal. That's what's coming your way.
From Rafa's ass.
I was just about to say, coal isn't too bad because you can heat yourself up and, like, you can do stuff with it. But if it's coming out of Rafa's ass...
And it causes pollution, Hector.
It's still cold. Like, it doesn't change.
No,
It's just coming out of my ass.
I don't want ass coal. That's nasty.
I don't want...
Yeah,
or
I'm good.
Rafa ass coal. I don't want
I'm good on
Rafa ass
Rafa
coal.
ass coal.
I know nobody's
Ungrateful.
ass cool. But anyway, if you're down for ass cool, hit that like button down below. All right, y'all. So let's talk about the Eternals, and this is a spoilers talk. So if you haven't seen it, skip to the next timestamp because we're gonna go all in. All right, let's go. So the Eternals, Marvel's latest MCU scandal.
Installment.
Scandal. It's a scandal.
Jesus,
There's
why
a
is it
scandal.
a scandal?
Ask us Saudi Arabia why there's a scandal, John.
Ask us Saudi Arabia.
This was honestly worse than the Reflect scam.
Yeah, honestly, this is also
JK.
Valkyrie's fault.
Right.
Jesus.
She's co-creator of the Eternals. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, everybody knows that. She put it on her Twitter handle. No, okay, so the Eternal movie. Let's talk about the movie first, and then we'll kind of talk about the controversy that happened there. So the Eternals, essentially brand new MCU film. This is the first film for the Eternals. Hopefully it's the last one.
Ooh.
It follows...
Damn. Way to
Wait a minute.
put your
What?
opinion
I just
out
missed
there.
that hard as fuck.
way to put your opinion out there.
I said it's the first film for the Eternals. Hopefully it's the last one. No, okay. It follows like 19 different people who've been around forever. And
Hector, take it away. He's
there
not
you
giving
go.
it his due diligence.
There's no due
Take it away.
diligence. There's no due
This
diligence.
man,
there's no
he's
due
biased
diligence.
as fuck. He's biased as fuck.
So essentially, the
Take it away.
Eternals is about a group of beings who were selected by the Celestials, who were created by the Celestials, which are, I don't know if you guys remember in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the Collector showed the Guardians kind of an image of like one of the beings, like this super giant being using the Power Stone. And essentially they are like these all-powerful creatures, gods and godly figures that go around the universe, either protecting it, destroying it, creating it. Like they have a bunch of different tasks and like things that they do within the MCU. And so the Eternals are essentially like their messengers. Think of Galactus and the Silver Surfer. That's essentially what they are.
Yeah, but
That's
trash.
actually very good. Yeah, you're right.
And it's pretty cool. As we go throughout the movie, they kind of
Suck.
diverted a little bit and kind of mixed different storylines for the this movie. Like a bunch of this stuff wasn't exactly like everything that happened, but they kind of like mixed and matched different parts from like different continuities within like the comics. But yeah, like for this one, for example, the Eternals are sent from planet to planet to cultivate the planet and essentially create new Celestials, which you find out later.
That's actually the spoiler twist ending thing that he just said there. So yeah, let's talk about it. Did we like it? Did we like the movie? I'll toss it to you guys first. Hector, I haven't talked to you about it.
I feel like you should go first because you straight.
Like you should go first.
Yeah, like you straight gave your, but you might as well just get that out the way right off rip.
Oh, yeah,
I want to form my opinion on based on what you guys say.
And for you guys that don't know,
let's keep in mind. Yeah, I was about to say like Alex, myself, and Hector saw it. Rafa didn't see it.
Easy.
Depending on what you guys say, if depends if I go see it or not.
Okay.
Well, we should have watched it.
So I thought this was, I honestly, for me, all jokes aside, I'll tell you right now, I thought this is the best film in the MCU. It was definitely way better than Endgame. It was definitely better than Thor Ragnarok.
You're clearly
It was
lying.
definitely better than. Oh, but let me tell you why. Because two dudes kissed on screen. And
hell yeah!
And it had the first.
Cheer.
It had the first. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for the. I don't have a soundboard here. Here you go. Hey.
Cheer.
I cheered it. Two dudes kissed on screen, and it had the first ever Marvel sex scene. So that was cool too. A lot of firsts in this movie.
Yeah.
First ever sex scene.
There was a whole sex scene in that. There was a whole sex scene.
I completely forgot about that.
Like those old school back in the day sex scenes.
Like
dude,
they kissed
they
naked.
were naked on top of each other.
You didn't see no booty cheeks or nothing, but whatever.
It's like that implied sex scene.
You saw a little
like
side boob. That's it.
Yeah.
Was it horny? Was it horny?
It was like half a show.
If I wasn't so bored, it probably would have been decent. But no, that and so before, let me lead with love. I respect this movie for what it did. With the representation of the gay community, with the representation of the handicapped, because the deaf superhero, and having the balls to put sex. I mean, I'm sorry, the mute. She's missing one of the senses. One of her. She was cool as fuck. What was I saying here? Yeah, and the balls to put a sex scene in there, and also the fact that Disney and Marvel said, hey, we're not censoring this shit for y'all over there. If you don't like it, sorry, you don't get the movie. Mad props to them for that. I respect that. I love that.
Yeah.
It's 2021. You're going to see gay people. You shouldn't censor away from that. I love that.
Right.
Cool.
That specifically was towards Saudi Arabia. They did not want the movie there unless it was edited. Unless those scenes were edited out, the ones with the gay.
And you know what? Remember when? Well, the episode never came
exactly
out.
What we said.
So the episode never came out because we were talking crazy stuff. But what actually happened was, Hector was saying some crazy shit. But what actually happened? The scene that's so controversial, which it shouldn't be, is literally he kissed his husband goodbye. That's literally it. There was no tongue.
It was a peck.
Yeah, no tongue, no ass grab. He didn't get down and blow him. It was nothing like that.
The sex scene that we saw. Yeah. We saw a pure heterosexual sex scene and a nice kiss goodbye to my husband because we're doing a super dangerous mission and I might not see you guys again. Like it's the most natural thing on the planet.
Yeah,
it's like the most natural thing on the planet.
Yeah,
it wasn't forced. It was very natural. It would have been the exact same thing if it was a heterosexual couple.
Yep.
But because Saudi Arabia has, I guess, archaic beliefs and such,
they said what's that word? Which starts with M?
Misogynistic.
Yes, thank you.
Morbidly obese.
That's it.
Those bunch of fatties over there. No, I'm not gonna say it because in case we have people from Saudi Arabia. But no, like that they have like the old school beliefs because I think like because of their religion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Disney said, hell no, dude, get with the times.
Hey, fuck y'all. That's what Disney said. But so the movie
we
itself,
don't need your money,
right? Now that led with love. This movie for me, I'm only speaking for me. Was really, really, really entirely way too fucking long and really, really, really way too fucking boring. I did not enjoy it. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes of dialogue.
Oh my god! Almost 3 hours.
It was almost 3 hours. It was almost 3 hours, and you felt it. You felt.
Oh my god!
You do feel it.
Yeah.
You do feel it.
I would have been kicked out of the theater if I was there.
Yeah, you would have been
snoring.
sleeping.
Yeah, I would have been sleeping the whole thing.
I mean, like, it's a lot.
I went in with no expectations. Like I wasn't at this. It wasn't a case of me overhyping the movie. I knew nothing about the Eternals. I just went in because it's an MCU film. If it wasn't for the MCU, I would have skipped it entirely. So. Yeah, the movie is just way too long. The pacing is all over the place. You can tell. I didn't know that they merged over 80 million storylines, but it sure fucking feels that way. The twist is cool. I will say it's in a point towards the movie, it's not formulaic. It doesn't follow the Marvel formula quite to the T that other films have. So it does do some original stuff. But it tried too hard to be this epic ass multi-character dimension open close. Like it just tried too hard to be an Oscar-winning movie, and it just failed. It was just really, really, really boring.
I didn't think that. I didn't think it tried to be an Oscar award-winning movie.
It tried to differentiate itself by being like the film took itself way too seriously. Is my problem with it.
I feel like this movie kind of has the same issue that like the OG Thor movies had, which is like they're like Shakespeare, not like Shakespearean, but like this kind of space opera type deal shit. Not space opera, but like you're right. It felt like this movie took itself way too seriously. They did have some funny moments. Like the jokes I felt landed. Some of them I felt especially the one
was hilarious.
The which one?
The human character.
Yeah. That they
the
had
assistant. Yeah, that he was fucking funny. I was laughing.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
The guy who was recording everything during the documentary.
Oh yeah.
He was super funny.
He was essential to that movie because if it wasn't for him, it would have been even more boring. Like it was so bad. It was just so long and poorly drawn out for me.
The guy who played Kingo, Kumail Nanjiani. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's in that Stuber, whatever the fuck that movie is with Dave Bautista. I actually really liked him in this movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was the comic relief that we needed in this. Because
sorry, that's the Indian guy.
Yes.
And
he's the Bollywood star.
The close star with Bautista and
Stuber. Yeah. But in this one,
he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy. Sorry.
Well, he's a comedian. Yeah. So, but like he adds like much needed levity to this movie because everybody's super serious. The guy who plays Robb Stark, I'm sorry, what the hell's his name? Richard Madden, he plays Icarus. Stale as fuck for me, dude. Like
everybody in this movie was stale as
everybody
fuck.
Was like stale, like just bland. So like when you had like these levity characters, like the guy who played Kingo and the actually Druid kind of had some funny moments. Barry Keoghan, he's the guy who his power is to like mess with people's minds.
What about my main man, Paperboy? How he do?
He kissed a dude on screen.
Brian Tyree Henry, he was the gay one. He plays Festus, and he does like he was actually very charming. He was very charming. Yeah, he was very, very charming. He was one of my favorite characters too. Yeah. It's just when it gets down to it, I literally left there with no opinion. I was like, I don't know if this is like, I don't think it's a terrible movie, like the worst movie in the MCU, but I can't sit here and think that I thought it was as amazing.
What's the worst movie in the MCU?
First Thor.
I think my least favorite might be like Captain Marvel or like Captain America.
Wrong. The first Avenger. Hell no, you're wrong for that one. But all right.
But maybe I haven't seen it in a really long time.
But the Marvel one I definitely like worse.
Like I didn't like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, for me it's between Eternals and Captain Marvel.
And I feel like no, I would say Ant-Man, but the movie was just funny. Like it was
Ant-Man
very smart.
Watch Ant-Man again. I strongly recommend watching Ant-Man again.
I think Captain Marvel, because like I always thought that like Ant-Man was like the middest tier of MCU stuff, but it still differentiates itself from the rest with the way that it plays with the size and its humor.
Yeah, I love Ant-Man.
Captain Marvel is just bland as fuck, dude.
Yeah, these between Captain Marvel and Eternals, yeah, they're on the same like level for me. Yeah. As in I would never want to see him again.
Like I'm not objectively, they're not bad movies, but it's definitely not the MCU's best.
Let's give it to Hector. He hasn't said a word.
You're right.
Well, yeah, because I've been waiting on y'all to like get your points through. I actually really enjoy the movie.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna mute this kid.
Mm-hmm. All right.
No, because like I feel like, especially with all the negative like reviews and everything, like that's where I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna come with like extremely low expectations, you know, like just be like, all right, it's just another movie coming in and watching it. I loved Kit Harington's character, which is the Black Knight.
He was charming too.
Yeah, I liked his like
he was in it for 15
bits.
minutes.
Yeah, but every minute he was in, I actually really enjoyed. Like I loved him running away from like the Deviants. I loved him making the Joker like, so are you like a wizard, like Doctor Strange? And then later on he's like, so you're not a wizard and you can't turn me into a giraffe. But like I actually really liked like those scenes like that. I thought the only like stale characters, but I feel like that was kind of their point, was the actor who played Icarus and Cersei. I feel like they're more so meant to be like especially Icarus. Like I kind of cringed at the crying scenes whenever he would cry, because I'm like, bro, like, but like him just talking and trying to be like the leader and trying to be stoic, like I kind of understood, like, all right, you're supposed to be a stale character, like it's whatever, right? It's like one of those characters where you're just kind of like, yeah, that's just what you're supposed to be. Cersei, I felt like it was like meh.
What about Angelina Jolie?
I actually hated her character.
She was I
actually really hated her character. I hate that she made her. They made her like, seemingly dumb and like a child. And I'm like, that is such a huge actress in the world, and this is the role you guys give her.
Yeah.
Also,
is
Salma
that from
Hayek.
A separate storyline, right? Is that from a?
Kind of. Yeah. Like I said, like they like mixed and matched a bunch of stuff. Like the what is it, the Myrid or whatever? I forgot what they called it. But like the disease that she had, it was
it's called like
different.
mind something like. I don't know.
The Unimind was a big thing that they did at the end.
The Unimind was something like Rafa. Essentially, like Angelina Jolie had in what would be synonymous in What We Do in the Shadows as brain scramblies. Like not exactly, but like she would kind of lose her. There would be moments where she would kind of like lose her mind and just start attacking everybody.
Yeah.
So essentially they were like, we need to suppress her as much as possible because they didn't want to kill her. They were like, so Angelina Jolie, like Kit Harington, who's Jon Snow, they just kind of like took back seats. Mm-hmm. Well, Angelina Jolie because she's an Eternal, but like she had a back seat like nasty. I was a little bummed. Like I wanted to see more of her.
Yeah. Also, Salma Hayek, in all of her like interviews, she was like hyping herself up to be like this big important role, and she was in there for like all of 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think Kit Harington was in there longer than she was.
He was 100% was.
Yes, he just
like her role was the most important, arguably in the story, but they didn't show her at all in the movie.
And I feel like if you have to in interviews explain why you're so important, it's like. Yeah, and like yes, technically she is because she was the one who communicates with the Celestials and all that stuff, right? And she kept information hidden, like very big information hidden from everybody. But it's like, she didn't do anything, not really.
So Hector, you liked it. Rafa, you didn't.
Yeah,
see
I did.
That. John, did you? You said you're indifferent.
I'm like, this is mid as fuck,
and
boy.
I did not like it.
It's literally like a perfect.
We literally have
like it, hate it, indifferent. Like, so right. Rafa, with that, what is your opinion?
I think just by what you guys are telling me, I think I would if I do end up watching it, I'm not gonna enjoy it. I feel like I'm gonna get really bored, and when I get bored, I get sleepy. When I get sleepy,
did you make it through Lord of the Rings?
No.
Then you're not gonna like this movie.
You're not gonna like this.
You're not gonna like this movie. Absolutely not.
No, well, did I see Lord of the Rings all the way?
No, that told me enough. That told me enough. You're not gonna finish this movie.
You have to ask that.
Yeah, I remember watching
it is a lengthy movie, and regardless of how you feel about it, you will feel that.
That's my biggest problem with that.
And they walked into a fire mountain at the end, like Lord of the Rings, anyway. So just watch Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
And Lord of the Rings are better, yeah.
Because I was gonna say, and I remember watching the first Lord of the Rings, and then I was just like, "What is the point of this movie?" They just walked for like 2 hours. That was the
point.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're dumb.
But
Lord of the
anyway,
Rings is missing time.
so there you go. If you guys want to watch the Eternals, whatever, watch it.
I think like this has to be the longest MCU movie to date, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
I think it is. Yeah, I think that's
It's almost
my
3
biggest
hours.
complaint.
Now in contrast, we're gonna get
Spider-Man's
the longest
also-
Spider-Man movie,
yeah.
which is damn near 3 hours as well.
See, but I want those 3
And
hours.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And
I want those
okay
That's
three-
with
something
that.
I want.
If it turned out that
I am
Spider-Man
okay
was
with that.
gonna be an hour, 2 hours, I'd be upset. I'm like, no.
I'd be like, damn,
no.
what's the rush?
Yeah, like relax. Like, I need
Hold
at
on, take your
least
time.
I need at least 45 minutes per villain in this movie to
That's
deal with
hilarious.
this shit.
I like how this movie it's damn near they're damn near almost identical in length. I think this one's a little longer. We're like, this shit's long. Fuck
'cause
that
you
shit.
feel
With
it.
Spider-Man, we're like, whoa. Like,
Yeah, you do feel this
take your
movie.
time.
But I feel like they kind of diverged from like what the MCU movies normally are too, because this is like essentially the first drama film in the MCU universe.
yeah.
Because it's not really like it's a drama movie sprinkled with action scenes.
It should be the last one of those. Like, it's cool if they tried it, we did it, check it off, not again. Unless we do somebody else different, like pick a different. Maybe I just didn't like. No, yeah, maybe I don't like the director. Maybe the casting. I don't know, something about the story. Also, when the fuck did this movie take place? I have a really big question.
I think it
Literally
comes
really
in
big question.
like a few months after the blip.
I thought it happens a couple days.
So
after,
where's
no?
Where's Spider-Man? Because technically Spider-Man
That's months. Spider-Man's like a couple months after the blip.
Okay, so you mean to
when
tell
people come
me?
back.
So you mean
So
to
this
tell me
probably would have
that-
happened before.
So the big fucking earth-changing celestial head that came out the ass of the earth.
Also thought the same thing though.
Nothing. We're not Spider-Man.
Hold on, let me see if I can look up a timeline.
Nick Fury, nothing. Nobody, nothing. Hey, a head came out the ass of the earth.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like the problem with a lot of these. Like, the more we have this universe continue on, and the more they have these like movies are like, oh, this is this guy's movie, this guy's movie. That's gonna happen a lot. It's gonna, and it's not the first time we brought this up. Like, oh, well, where were these guys at? Where were these guys at?
But the
when this
difference
happened?
here is that they make it a point to bring up where these guys at. They made it a very, very valid point in this movie to be like, hey, where the fuck were y'all at when Thanos was here? And they go like, hey man, we can't, whatever. Fine, they addressed it. What ended up coming out of the Earth, Rafa, is not like a building size thing. It's not. It's Galactus sized gigantic head and hand that came out the side of the Earth. Like, it changed everything, and it was on the news and shit. And it's like, no, Captain Marvel wouldn't have come back for that. Like, it's not like that's a small thing. Nick Fury, it went by the scrolls. He didn't see that when he looked down. Like, what I'm saying, like that. That part of it.
Was that like the main bad guy, or was that like the stinger at the end?
No, that was the main point of the whole ass movie, to stop that thing from coming out.
I guess we'll get into spoilers. I'm muted right now.
Yeah.
Which, Rafa, it doesn't seem like you're gonna watch this movie.
No, I don't want to get kicked out of a movie theater.
Man, you're gonna be snoring loud as fuck.
So this is allegedly happening during the same time as Far From Home, 8 months following the events of Endgame.
So they're happening at the same
Fair.
time.
Okay, then I accept. Well, okay,
Okay.
now I have a problem because it's like, okay,
Well, I mean,
now Peter
I guess,
Parker's
like-
identity getting leaked, giant
Exactly.
fucking
Like,
head
what's
coming
more-
out of the planet.
What's
Like,
more important? There's literally a giant being coming out of where we live.
You know
like
what I'm
our
saying?
Earth.
Multiverse, Loki. Like,
So-
I don't know where.
and that's what I'm thinking. I was telling John, I'm like, the only way that this
Yeah.
movie gets saved is that this is a different dimension, and they get brought into, at whenever the multiverse shit happens, because that doesn't make sense. Like, what happened there, the entire world will be talking about it nonstop.
Unless they talk about it in the new Spider-Man movie.
Also,
I
that
doubt that. There's so much happening in Spider-Man. I don't think they're gonna touch Eternals.
But I mean,
first. And
they
that's
literally
just-
can just
that's
mention it in like in a news report, or J. Jonah
Maybe.
Jameson can just say something. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
Like, as long as they acknowledge it, then that's already like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
But Rafa, essentially what happens at the end of the movie of Eternals is like you find out that the Eternals are essentially not like living beings, they're like these robots. Yeah. And the Celestials created them and the Deviants to essentially create Celestials, like they wanted like the organisms to evolve to a certain point to make enough energy to create a celestial out of a planet and then destroy the planet so that the celestial can live.
I'm confused.
The Eternals are like,
what?
That story doesn't make sense. Okay, so the Celestials, the big ass dudes, they need, for whatever reason, to be created. They need civilizations on these planets to evolve to a certain point. They need them to be able to make energy, which doesn't make sense because the energy comes from the natural resources of the planet. It should already be that, whatever. Anyway, so they have to. These people have to get to the iPhone 13. In the core of the Earth. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like the society has to evolve to the point where we can get the iPhone 13, so these Celestials can come out and harness whatever the fuck to be a thing, and then that planet's dead. So the Celestials created the Deviants, which are those creatures that they fight, to kind of push them forward. But what ended up happening was those Deviants, ended up eating too much and ended up fucking it up and stopping the civilizations from expanding.
The Deviants are like animals. They were like hunting things.
Yeah. So then they created the Eternals to kind of keep the Deviants in check so society can keep going forward.
It's like the Celestials were playing Lemnis Gate. And they fucking they're like, we put one thing down, it didn't work. So we're gonna put this other thing to fuck up the other thing so that we can continue.
And so they make it a point to erase those Eternals' minds every time, so they don't know what they're doing every time. Because obviously, once they find out, they're gonna stop it, like they did in the stupid ass movie.
Also, like they're there for thousands and thousands of years with these people, so obviously they're gonna grow attachments to them, and it's gonna be much harder for them to. Which this time they found out and they're like, hell no, like I'm not, like these humans are doing shit that we've never seen before. Fuck all that. Like obviously this grand plan, and they made it a point to be like, we saw humans literally go back in time to bring their people back with the Infinity Stones. Like these are special people. We shouldn't get rid of them like that. Mm-hmm. And like so like there's not really a central bad guy. It's just like the same thing, kind of like Thanos, where it's like, do we destroy this amount of people to create and save this amount of people, or it's essentially like
they essentially had to choose between saving a couple billion people or a couple billion worlds, because the Celestials run the universes. So that's the whole moral compass of the movie, and that's why we're so serious. And it's like which is kind of like a Thanos level event, but it's like way worse.
This movie just kind of this movie kind of like ends itself, and like I found myself just not caring. Yeah. I'm like, I don't care because you have already established that there is a multiverse and shit like that, and we are going, and everything up to this point has established the multiverse. So for you to tell me about this shit right now, it's like I don't really care about that right now. Like what? Show me more about this timeline thing you keep talking about. Because if some shit fucks up, like Alex was saying, this could just be a different timeline.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're beating a horse now. The Stingers at the end. What's his face from Dunkirk? Henry Styles. He was in Dunkirk, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah, he
was in Dunkirk, yes.
He was phenomenal in Dunkirk, by the way.
He was great in Dunkirk.
He came out. He's going to be Star Fox, so him and Falco, Pepe, and...
nice!
They're going to come in and see
He's going to be like, doorbell!
Yeah, so that's going to happen. No, Star Fox is Thanos' brother. He's a whole other...
Is his name Star Fox, actually?
That's his, like, hero name.
Yes.
I think his name is Eros. His actual name is Eros. Eros, and then Star Fox is his code name, nickname. Yeah. He's the Prince of Titan. So he's royalty on the planet of Titan, which is Thanos'
planet,
homeworld. Also found out that so technically, I don't know if Thanos is, but I saw something where, I mean, if they're brothers, I would assume it's the case. But Eros is the son of two Eternals.
What type of fucking robots are these? They can... All right, hey man. First,
they're synthetic beings. So
I was gonna say that's the worst robot ever. You
like
create
androids,
a robot to turn around.
Like yeah, I mean, well, again, this was in the comics, or at least the thing that I read or had seen. It said that he was a son of two Eternals.
And Thanos is an Eternal with a deviant gene, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, so
that's why he looks like how he does.
Gene, yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, one thing I kind of found out too was so Eros's Eternal's ability is to be able to make people essentially horny and activate their attraction genes.
That's why they pick Harry Styles.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy. Also, kind of something that happened. I Actually, no. I know the response I'm gonna get, so I'll bring this up later.
Say it now.
I won't bring it up on the pod. No.
No, now you gotta say it. Now you tease
All right,
the audience.
John, you asked for it.
Actually, never mind.
Nope, I'm gonna say it.
No, say it.
So in the comics, he essentially got brought to court because he was, as that character, he was accused of date rape, which is essentially making the woman fall in love with him, and they accused him of date rape, and he went through this whole like court jury process. This was like a whole trial. I believe it was also during
it's
like
safe to say that's not going to be in the MCU. I think it's safe to say.
No, that's definitely not going to be in the MCU. And the way they said, it's not his fault, was because they said that Thanos was controlling him during that time period.
Wow.
But yeah, that was
that kind of sounds like bullshit.
I hope they bring that storyline in. That's swag.
They're definitely not going to. But
That's swag.
It'll be the first ever like court case movie in the MCU. You know, like we already have the boring drama. Now it's time for a Judge Judy episode. I'm so down for that. Let's go.
Yeah. So the arrows, that's his power. He can just make people horny
as
for him
fuck.
and shit.
Cool.
Yeah.
No.
But the bigger.
It sounds like a perfect setup for a porno.
No, Rafa, you're
ready. Rafa, you ready to go?
I have an idea. He goes to court.
You got it.
No. You're talking about a date rape porno. We're gonna stop right there.
Okay, not okay, Rafa. Not okay.
Okay, let's talk about the bigger stinger here. Right. So everybody knows Jon Snow and Kit Harington in the he got casted as the Black Knight, right? So the whole point. It's funny because he wasn't even the biggest part of that stinger for me. But so he, so he's there. He's like, oh man, right when the movie ends, he's like, yo, my sweet robot bitch. I have to tell you something about myself too, because it turns out that I'm a giraffe. So she gets taken by the Eternals, right? And then at the end, you see him picking up a box. Like there's a long box and there's a sword in the box. And John told me in the middle of the movie. In the middle of the stinger, that if he touches the sword, he becomes the Black Knight. That's his heritage. That's who he becomes.
Yes.
So
the Black Sword is also called the Ebony Blade, by the way.
Ebony Blade. There we go.
So if he touches the Ebony Blade, he becomes the Black Knight, which coincidentally is a Martin Lawrence movie, which is better than the Eternals. Go watch that one. But so when he touches, it was.
Have you seen that movie?
It's really good. So when he touches that, he becomes the Black Knight. So right when he's about to reach the sword, you hear a voice in the background saying something along the lines of, are you sure you want to do that? Right? Something like that. Now, that voice is the biggest part of that stinger for me.
Yep.
Because it was confirmed that voice is actually Blade in the MCU.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wesley Snipes?
Absolutely not Wesley Snipes.
Dang it.
But Blade is back, baby.
Yeah. It's Mahershala something.
What's his name again?
Mahershala something.
Wesley Snipes?
I'm not gonna try to say that name.
Mahershala. I got it. Ali. The last one is Mahershala Ali.
So he's back because I heard.
He's awesome. He's a great actor.
Yeah, I love him.
He played. He was in
Moonlight.
Luke Cage.
A lot of things. He was also Luke Cage. Yeah,
he was in Luke Cage. I'm trying to keep it comic book related. He was in Luke Cage.
He's a great actor. Blade.
He was
Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth.
He said everybody wanted to be the king, and he beat the fuck out of his grandma.
I remember that.
Right. So now he's
a
a
cool
vampire.
Guy.
Such a swaggy guy.
Yeah, he beat up his grandma. That's so
right.
Cool.
But yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Blade confirmed. It came out that the director said that yep, that was in fact Blade, which homie's not. The Black Knight is not a vampire, right?
No.
The Black Knight is like a.
All right. So what the fuck is it Blade's business? If
he might have been the one to bring him the blade. He probably knows a lot about the blade.
Blade brought him the blade. I see what he did there.
Blade.
You never know.
No, he said, Emily, what? Then he went over there to get.
I mean, people are saying it's like they're connecting Blade with the Eternals because the Eternals have lived for thousands of years, right? And then vampires also live for a very long time, so they're like they have to have interacted. Yeah, very long time.
Forever.
They have like connected. Do they live forever? I actually don't know. Like
vampires live forever.
By the way, because connecting to the next thing is, do you guys think this is connected to the Morbius? movie at all?
There's a whole string of questions that come with Morbius, bro.
Which we'll talk about
Did you
right
see
now.
Did you guys see the trailer?
Yeah, I saw
Okay.
it.
Yeah, what a clusterfuck of a trailer.
Dude.
Yeah,
it was a lot happening
to
in
take
that
it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Let's just jump right into it.
So Morbius dropped a new trailer, which if you forgot, I don't blame you. That movie was supposed to come out last year and didn't because obviously.
And then just stopped.
And everybody just stopped talking about it. They dropped a new trailer, and this movie appears to be in every single iteration of Marvel. For one reason or another, every single one. There's droppings of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, the MCU, not the MCU. There's little bits and pieces of literally everything in there. Venom, they mentioned Venom. So
I thought was funny.
Yeah, that made me laugh. But
I did not think that was funny.
You're so interesting, dude. Wow.
Why would he just be saying that?
Because it's hilarious.
Why would he say that?
I'm Doctor blah blah blah.
I'm just confused. I'm just
kidding. It's me.
So
Jared Leto.
the way the movie seems like to me is gonna be obviously down the line after a bunch of other movies.
Yeah.
And once the multiverse is established and Venom and everybody's in, in Spider-Man. I feel like that's how they're gonna set it up now.
Wait,
but it's
I have a
weird.
question. This was supposed to come out last January.
Yeah. Exactly.
When
Which
was
is weird as shit.
But so was Venom, no? Wasn't Venom supposed to also come
Venom
out?
was supposed to right. But when was Spider-Man supposed to come out originally?
Spider-Man I think came out at the same time, so December. I think that one didn't get changed.
No, Spider-Man got pushed too.
Did it?
Yeah, I think
we
so.
were supposed to get all these movies last year, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Phase 4, correct?
Correct.
This is Phase 4.
Original
Because
Phase 4.
because it would have been. I mean, now I'm thinking. I mean, it doesn't matter the order they drop them now, but it looks like
It
Venom.
kind of does though.
No.
That's the thing. Like it really does because it kind of confused the shit out of me. Like
No, because
Loki was supposed to happen before WandaVision.
But it played out. It played out actually fine so far. Now, because I'm thinking like, if Venom and Morbius were supposed to like kind of tease the multiverse, that would have been more confusing if it came out that way and still had the same stingers and same like setup. Granted, I don't know anything about Morbius. I don't know where that takes place or whatever. But could you imagine the stinger of Venom coming out and we don't know anything about Far From Home? That would have been crazy.
You said know anything about Far From Home?
Yeah, I mean the
Or
new
No
one,
Way Home?
the No Way Home. Like, I guess it would be the same thing. You'd be in the same
so
place.
Mobius wasn't even on the MCU timeline.
Yeah, because that's Sony.
Well, because
that's
it's
the
Sony.
It's
So
technically
it's
Sony, yeah.
Just like how Venom
it's the same
wasn't.
people. It's the same people who brought Venom. So
Yeah.
like, but they were gonna come out around the same time as like all this other stuff last year. So they were setting up the multiverse.
Well,
Like,
the thing is,
they're setting it
last
up.
year it was supposed to start off with Black Widow. That was supposed to be the first film we got, in the
Right.
MCU.
Yeah.
For Phase 4, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is like set 8 months after the blip,
Yeah.
or after Endgame. Sorry, after Endgame. And then it was
Wait,
supposed to
8
be
months?
Eternals. Yeah, I think I said 8 months.
They didn't mention the Eternals bullshit either, man.
Well, okay, because here's why. So
Oh,
it's
that happened right before?
Black Widow, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then it was supposed to be the Eternals movie.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll
And
give
then
you
after Eternals, it was supposed to be Shang-Chi,
that. Okay.
then WandaVision, then Multiverse of Madness, then Loki, then What If, then Hawkeye, then Thor.
That's crazy how
They split
A, Spider-Man's
all that shit
not
up.
there, and B, Multiverse of Madness came out before WandaVision.
Yeah.
Confusing.
Yeah, Spider-Man's not even on this original list.
Interesting. I'm
guessing it was supposed to be Phase 4 Part 2 Spider-Man, and they're like, let's move it up then.
I don't know what's more interesting to me at this point in time. How they're maneuvering the movies around, like the actual, this is coming out here, this is coming out here, and this tells this story, or the actual movies themselves. Like I'm enjoying both sides, I think, equally at this point. Like, oh man, here comes WandaVision, but that takes place before Loki, which was originally supposed to come out here. Winter Soldier originally had a whole pandemic storyline. Like, all those switches to me are just as entertaining as the stories.
It's like that Charlie Day meme from Always Sunny, where he's like the giant bulletin board with all the shit on the wall.
Yeah, I'm loving both sides of it.
Because I love the stories, but also
Juggling
like,
hard.
like how does this fit in with this? Is like some of the craziest shit. But yeah, like Mobius has like stuff to Sam Raimi. There's like in the backgrounds of certain shots, you see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit asking where he is.
Yeah.
Right. They're saying like, "Where's Spider-Man?" The Daily Bugle newspaper that they read, also that's in Venom, are both from Sam Raimi's Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
Like they both look like that. I forgot how they mentioned. Oh well, they have freaking Oscorp, right?
Yeah.
Oscorp was in there
Because Oscorp isn't established in the MCU, and it's not established in Venom either. At least not at this point.
Not just yet. We've only heard of Oscorp in Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's, but it was a more prominent role in Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
What was it?
Sam Raimi, you didn't really get a lot of Oscorp.
Sam Raimi.
You got
Sam
the
Raimi,
Osborns.
no.
You fought both of them
You
motherfuckers
did,
in Sam
yeah.
Raimi's.
Yeah, but like no, as far as Oscorp as
At the company?
a company, yeah, like that's where the Lizard worked at. That's where
Gwen Stacy worked on it in The Amazing Spider-Man.
Gwen Stacy worked there.
Peter
yes.
worked on it.
Andrew
and-
Garfield was there when he got bit. Like it plays a huge role in Andrew Garfield's.
But point is,
And then,
Oscorp is there, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Keaton is also there.
Which is now
Mobius-
MCU.
The Mobius trailer did give us a date.
January.
January.
Was that January?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, January. It was January. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually really excited for that movie too, honestly. Like
I'm not.
Connections
excited for
connections
Mobius
to the connections to the MCU and all that aside, I was more interested in the movie now than I was the first time. Like actually seeing Mobius be the living vampire and see that design. Yeah. I was like, it looks very like comic and cartoon accurate. Like I remember seeing him.
That's
like,
exactly
in the
how he
Amazing,
looks.
Like, like the Spider-Man cartoon, the Spider.
Well, except Mobius is like blue in that.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to see a blue dude walking around anymore after Watchmen. The blue dick in my face. I'm straight on anything blue.
I think they were just trying to go for like he's got like that pale skin.
Baby.
Like it's fine.
I will say I love Jared Leto, so I like the casting. Like every time we talk about anything Jared Leto's in, I'm always defending him. I did it with Joker. I'm doing it here with Morbius. I like Jared Leto a lot. So again, I like
Jared Leto.
Morbius is one of those characters.
But I don't think I like his Joker.
His Joker's dead, right? Like his bad guy, gangster Joker.
Nope.
Yes and no.
Nope.
Yes and
wait.
Yes and
canonically
no.
dead or dead? Like you're not gonna see him again?
Like he's not gonna show up in any movies no more.
Oh, maybe not. Who knows?
That's like a hard. That's like a hard maybe. That's a hard maybe.
It all depends. It all depends on DC and Zack Snyder and whatever happens there, because he's still around.
Because Joker was supposed to be there in the Snyderverse.
Yeah,
and he was supposed to meet up with Ben Affleck's Batman, which we get a piece of in the Snyder cut version of Justice League.
Yeah,
with the whole dystopian future and all that shit, where Superman goes buck nasty. So technically, in the Snyderverse, he's not dead; he's alive, and he's playing a huge role in that storyline. Now, as Warner Bros. Gonna continue that? Probably not, because they said fuck that shit.
They're doing the whole multiverse thing too now, so who knows?
Well, they're doing Flashpoint, so they're gonna rewrite everything.
Yeah. So, or they can just be like, hey, all these movies are just fuck whatever, and they might do like HBO Max specific, just to throw Snyder a bone or something. Like, I don't know. I would want to see
Give me Joaquin Phoenix. Give me.
Yeah,
Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm over Jared Leto's Joker.
I never liked it in the first place.
See, in Suicide Squad, I was like, give him a chance. And then I saw him in Snyder Cut, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe he just sucks.
He wasn't that bad in like that post-apocalyptic scene with Batman with the long hair.
It was the character design.
It wasn't that bad. It's just that the whole gangster Joker thing just doesn't work.
Yeah,
but that was the original. In the first Batman movie, he was a gangster Joker. That's a storyline.
Yeah, but I don't know. There was like a different, type of gangster.
With
the what's his name? Arkham Asylum Joker. Give me that.
Well, what's this? Oh my God, this actor's name is escaping me. He's a really big actor.
Robert De Niro.
Not De Niro. He was not Joker.
Robert Pattinson.
Not Pattinson. He's Batman.
Downey Jr.
No, he's in Mars Attacks. He played the president and the other guy. Nicholson. His Joker was a gangster Joker. So
it's different though. It's different.
It's not that different.
This is more like
it's the same.
guess it's more of a modern interpretation.
You're just
of
mad that it's
more
a
like-
modern gangster. You're just
Yeah.
mad that it's a
Gang
modern
banger.
gangster.
It's
I think
like a
that's what it
gang
is.
banger jokes,
He's
yeah.
not a gangbanger.
Again,
He's not a gangbanger
You only
Joker.
you only saw him in that movie for like 8 minutes. That's impossible to set up the levity of his gangsterness in 8 minutes. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
It's very much they kind of like cut him out the
fucked
movie
him
altogether.
because they cut him out. Yeah, that's what happened there. So yeah, of course, when you see him pop in and out like Jack Sparrow, it's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, well, how am I supposed to respect him? You know, that's of course. So no, leave my boy
Which
Jared
was
Leto
his
alone.
biggest complaint too. I think.
Because he was supposed to be the villain or something for Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah, I would have preferred that.
Yeah.
Because he said that there was like a bunch of shit that they shot that just never came out or some
But
stuff.
anyway.
And I'm like, yeah.
Morbius.
But he's a vampire now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I like him. The humor seems to be right next to Venom, which I'm cool with. And I mean, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know about humor next to Venom, but
No, it is the whole
I'm not
silly
excited for
like
this movie, though.
the whole silliness, like where this character who's, you know, if this was a real world situation, like Venom cracking jokes makes less sense than Morbius cracking jokes to me. And that's why I'm like, I'm cool with it. This one makes sense. If I accepted Venom making breakfast and smacking the shit out of Tom Hardy and doing all this shit, I can accept Morbius being a little funny and saying, "Oh, I'm Venom," and then making a face like that.
I
That's
just don't
pretty
see
funny.
what I just like that one doesn't make sense to me. It's like, so does everybody know about Venom in this
Yes,
world?
in the Venom
well,
canon,
you know
yes,
what?
they
It's
do.
Sony.
If it's Sam Raimi's one, Venom would have been out already. Like
But-
Yeah.
Venom is a
Even if it's the one
It
with
makes
Tom
sense.
Hardy, everybody knows about Venom. That came out like that happened in L.A.
I thought they suppressed. I thought like nobody knows about Venom. Like as far as the
No.
public,
No.
far as the public, I don't think.
well, I mean, after Carnage.
Dude, I was about to say, they broke the shit out of that church
Yeah.
and fought like crazy.
and one of the biggest serial killers ever murdered
Carnage.
a bunch of shit.
Right, but so that just means they know about Carnage. That doesn't mean they don't know about Venom.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
It's not gonna be like,
together.
oh my god, Red One, Venom. Like he didn't really get any.
I think they're okay. I think they're fine.
Yeah.
They're
they'll
I
find
would-
a way to explain it.
Yeah.
I would think that it makes more sense because he's in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and Venom was in Spider-Man 3. That
would
the
make
public
less
knows
sense.
about Venom.
But they didn't
If
call
he's
him
in
Venom,
Sam
though.
Raimi's, if he's in Sam
They didn't call
Raimi's,
him
he didn't
Venom
have the
in
name
Spider-Man
Venom.
3.
He didn't
He
say
also
I am
wasn't
Venom.
a big
No.
Venom thing, yeah.
And he-
no,
and he-
So
And if
he's
you
a
rem-
Sam
and if you
Raimi.
remember,
You're just
it doesn't
grasping
matter.
at straws
If
here,
you
John.
remember,
Y'all motherfuckers literally said, "Oh, because this movie came out, he's in a whole different one." That like that. What are you
John,
talking
do you remember
about?
Spider-Man 3? Venom Spider-Man 3 was in an alley and then in a church, and then that was it. Who the fuck saw that dude?
No,
they
they
did.
literally
There was a
had
helicopter
reports
flying
of
around.
it. There was
Yeah.
literally reports,
Right,
and on the
but no
news.
one called it Venom, and obviously, and honestly, you would
So?
look at Sandman way more at that point because that dude was huge as fuck.
There was two, yeah, but there was two of them. Who's to say? Like, I don't know. It makes more sense. There
No, it
was
doesn't.
public. There's
Absolutely
actually
not.
public
Absolutely
thing.
At this point,
What are
we're
you
running
talking
around
about?
in
Yeah,
circles.
we're running around in John's
We're
wrong.
excited for Mobius. Well, no, you guys are excited for Mobius. I do not give a shit about this
I
movie.
mean, I'm optimistically.
Me and Rafa are just like, nah,
Eager.
we're good.
I'm with it.
I'm gonna watch it.
Not fucking with it.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
fuck
with
with the Mobius movie. I'll watch it,
I'm with
but
it.
I'm not
Yeah.
exactly excited for it.
All right, what do we?
I want an
what else do we
apology
have to
from
talk
both
about?
of you. There's rumors circulating.
Oh,
Jim
yeah.
Carrey as M.O.D.O.K.
So Jim Carrey is rumored to be M.O.D.O.K. All right, guys, thank you so
Yeah,
much
I
for
don't know in
listening.
what film. I don't know what film or what show. I think it's a show.
No, there's already a M.O.D.O.K. show.
There's a show. It's on Hulu. Pat Oswalt.
Yeah, Patton Oswalt plays M.O.D.O.K.
But I guess he would be
Yeah.
a movie character then, right?
I think he would be an MCU, or well, who knows? He could be in a live action show since they're doing those now.
M.O.D.O.K.
The
looks
Disney Plus
stupid to
shows.
me, so I don't like M.O.D.O.K.
I don't like him as a character design, but I feel
Yeah.
like he has like his quirky like quips and shit, and he says like some weird shit. So like I think Jim Carrey could do a fucking
His design is such a comic book
Yeah,
aesthetic. Like I feel like it only works in comic book.
Well, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked really well, I'll say, in the Avengers game. I didn't mind his design there. It wasn't like super crazy, big head, looking silly like that show. Because I think it worked well in the Avengers game. So they could do it. I just don't see a giant
You said
head
in what?
in the Avengers
I don't
game.
know.
but that's what he looks like.
No, I'm saying it worked well.
Oh well,
there.
his head was a little big.
Yeah.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way.
Well, I mean, like the M.O.D.O.K character, there's like a bunch of different designs of him. One of them is like just a giant ass stretch faced over like a giant like
just like a giant cylinder thing, right?
Yeah. So it's like if they just do that, I feel like Jim Carrey could look dumb as shit, but he'll probably just like there's multiple shit they could do with him, but the character itself, I feel like he could probably pull it off.
Maybe the Avengers, maybe like the Avengers version where it's like his head is obviously bigger than his body. But he'll be on like this because wasn't he in the Avengers game? He had like tiny arms, but he was like in a chair.
His head grew. Yeah.
M.O.D.O.K is like I think he's been in a chair before too, not just in the Avengers game.
I know, but like I'm thinking like in a chair. I'm just thinking about specifically that design.
Yeah.
He's always been in that chair.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm itchy. The Patton Oswalt one, he's it's more so like the comic Big Head Cylinder, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a strange character. We'll
see what he is. I don't even know who would be fighting him.
I'm not too versed with.
Would it be an Avengers movie?
I thought M.O.D.O.K was a Spider-Man bad guy.
That's the thing though. A lot of these villains
they overlap. A lot of villains.
Yeah, jump around.
I mean, of course they do, but I think didn't he originate?
If it's a Spider-Man villain, that's gonna be very weird. Thinking of Tom Holland versus Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Hold on, let's see. I'm trying to figure out where.
Who is M.O.D.O.K's enemy?
Oh no, it's for Captain America. It says M.O.D.O.K first appeared in Tales of Suspense, 93-94, September to October 1967.
Oh, I can see him in an Anthony Mackie movie then. I'm down.
Became a recurring foe for superhero Captain America.
Okay.
Was created by Stanley and Jack Kirby.
They also say that he's making his own standalone movie too.
Yeah, he would be maybe Cap 4. Also, I think Anthony Mackie going up against that shit would be hilarious. Like, I just imagine all the jokes that Cap would be making.
Do you think Anthony Mackie is going to continue to will we see a more serious Captain America from Anthony Mackie, or you think he'll still be that whole wisecracking?
No, it's gonna be Anthony Mackie. I don't see.
It's gonna be Anthony Mackie's version. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'll hold up the same. Like I think exactly what we saw in his show, where obviously he still believes in the ideals and what Captain America or like Steve Rogers fought for, but he's gonna do it in his way.
I'm with that.
And which he's embraced in that show. Which
he's definitely gonna be serious, but he's also gonna have like his goofy moments, and that's what I like. That's what I look forward to, and that's what I want, honestly.
I want that.
Okay,
I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And just give me Spider-Man. Make it 4 hours. I don't care.
Bro, imagine how heartbroken we're gonna be if Spider-Man sucks. Like if
I'm gonna be really disappointed.
I'm be really sad.
Yeah,
but it's not going to, because Marvel knows that Spider-Man is their bread and butter right now. Now that Iron Man's gone, it's 100% Spider-Man.
They're gonna put
that is their golden
especially because Iron Man's gone too. Who was the other one? Yeah, they're gonna go.
But the thing is, I feel like Sony's starting to creep up on Marvel and kind of saying like, "Hey, time to give them back to us now."
No.
They just signed a new deal.
The opposite.
No, they did.
Also,
they did.
Literally the opposite is happening, because I think in that whole tell-all book of behind the scenes, literally Kevin Feige was like, "Yo," I think he said it to the president of Sony or whoever it is. It's like, "Yo, this ain't about rights or whatever the fuck. We're in tandem right now. We're working as a team. Just let our production studio work on these movies." If anything, they're more tightened and intertwined than ever before.
But Sony still has the rights at the end of the day, and they could just say like, "Hey, fuck it."
Nope, they signed a contract,
and that would be the biggest mistake of their life. That would be the biggest mistake of their life.
But it's Sony though, and Sony has fucked up.
Well, I think we have. I think Spider-Man
Sony's been
for
on
another 3 movies again.
Sony's been on a good track because they're working with Marvel.
Yeah, so they're not gonna fuck that up.
They're raking in money doing nothing.
I don't know.
They're raking in money doing nothing.
They're literally making bank by letting Marvel borrow
their own character,
their people.
Yeah.
Like Sony's and Disney's fine with it. Like,
well, of course,
they don't have to do anything.
Money.
They don't have to do anything. They're fine.
I'm just saying. Like, be wary.
Sony's not gonna. I would be more wary of fucking DC than
I don't know
than Sony. Sony, I think they understand now.
They learned the hard way.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, we don't have to fight over these properties. We can share them and both make money. And that's probably the best business decision that they both make.
It is like a 60-40 deal, where it's like Sony gets 60, Disney gets 40.
Yeah.
But I think Disney also gets like merchandising as such or some shit. I forget.
I think they get like toys and shit. Yeah.
Disney's fine. Disney's fine.
Disney's not really.
They could have taken 10%.
fine.
They could have taken 10% and been chilling anyway.
I'm just saying, you know, my elbow is kind of acting up a little bit. So,
the fuck does that mean?
you know,
That
when
you
like,
have- I
like
just
when
think
it's,
you
when
have-
it's gonna rain.
Go over there. Go in the corner.
That just
Is
sounds
that
like you have
right?
arthritis and you should probably go to a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
know.
But
Do some yoga or
Yeah.
some shit. All right.
No.
Right.
excited for
Stretch
Morbius.
your-
I'm not
Excited for
doing
M.O.D.O.K.
shit.
Thank you so much for listening to episode 10 of the Panel Pals. What are you excited for the most in the MCU? Are you looking forward to Morbius? Is Spider-Man your thing? Did you like Eternals? Whatever it is, let us know down below. We'll reply to you. What else am I have to say here? Yeah, goodbye.
Best in the game.
Wow.
Oh well, no. Also, did you cut off?
No.
Okay. Well, stay tuned for all the other pods that we have this week. Anime podcast comes out tomorrow. Gaming podcast comes out Wednesday.
That's
we
it.
doing Derailed on Thursday.
Nope, that's it.
Don't fucking worry about Thursdays.
Thursday.
Don't worry about Thursday. Stay tuned for all the podcasts. I love you. Now you can turn it off.
Okay, bye.